The story begins with a girl named Louise. She loves her daughter deeply, but sadly, her daughter gets cancer and dies very young. However, in the next scene, we realize this was just a vision Louise had. It feels like a memory, but in reality, Louise is still single and hasn't experienced this yet. This vision is actually a glimpse of her future, where she will have a daughter who will die young from cancer. At this point, Louise doesn't understand why she's seeing this. In the present, Louise works as a university professor, teaching children. She is also an expert in languages, a linguist who knows many languages. One day, while she is teaching, she learns from the news that 12 alien spaceships have landed in various locations around the world. This causes global panic because the aliens aren't making any moves, leaving everyone unsure of their intentions. All the affected countries are anxious, wondering why the aliens are here and what they want. If the aliens intended to harm humans, they would have attacked by now, but they haven't. The spaceships hover just above the ground without fully landing. Louise returns home from the university and watches the alien news on TV. The next day, she finds the university deserted because the US government has imposed a lockdown. Louise sits in her office and an army colonel visits her. He wants her help in communicating with the aliens. 2 years ago, Louise assisted the US Army by translating Persian into English, so the colonel trusts her skills. He tells Louise about the recordings they have of the aliens. The colonel asks Louise to help decipher the alien language and explain their messages. He plays a recording of their attempts to communicate with the aliens, but the alien responses are incomprehensible. Louise listens to the recording, but also can't make sense of it, as the language is unlike anything from Earth. Louise tells the colonel that to understand the language, she needs to be at the site where the communication is happening. Initially, the colonel refuses and leaves. However, he returns that night and takes Louise to the alien contact site by helicopter. On board, she meets Ian, a biologist who will assist her in understanding the aliens' purpose. At the site, they don radiation suits to protect against potential alien radiation or viruses. They enter the spaceship and notice that gravity functions differently inside, allowing them to walk upwards from the ground. Finally, they reach the area where the aliens are and encounter them for the first time. The aliens, with 7 legs and a peculiar appearance, surprise Louise. Overwhelmed by their strange looks, she becomes momentarily confused and unable to react. Louise decides to attempt communication with the aliens. She speaks to them, and they respond. But it's clear that neither side understands the other. Returning to the army camp, the colonel asks for an update. It's revealed that other countries where the spaceships have landed are also trying to communicate with the aliens. And these countries are in contact with each other, all sharing the same question: why have the aliens come to Earth? What is their purpose? The next day, Louise brings a whiteboard into the spaceship to try written communication. She writes "humans" on the whiteboard, indicating that she and Ian are humans. One of the aliens responds by drawing a circle. This shows that the aliens use a written form of communication, but it's vastly different from human writing. Their language consists of circular symbols, unlike human letters and words. Back at the camp, the team struggles to understand the circular symbols despite numerous attempts. Determined to make progress, Louise returns to the spaceship and writes her name, Louise, on the whiteboard. To further bridge the gap, she removes her radiation suit to show herself clearly to the aliens. The aliens respond by writing their names in their circular script. Encouraged by this interaction, Ian also removes his suit and writes his name on the whiteboard. This exchange marks the first breakthrough in establishing a basic form of communication between humans and aliens, laying the groundwork for further understanding. The aliens respond with their names again, in their circular language. Louise and Ian still can't decipher the alien names, so Ian decides to name the 2 aliens himself. Given the aliens 7 legs, he gives them nicknames for convenience. Back at the army camp, Louise and Ian undergo a checkup since they had removed their radiation suits. The results show they are completely healthy, with no signs of radiation exposure or alien viruses. This confirms that the alien spaceship is safe, free from bacteria, viruses, and radiation. Over the next month, Louise and Ian visit the spaceship daily, working hard to understand the alien language. By the end of the month, Louise makes significant progress in understanding and decoding the aliens' circular script. However, she is still troubled by the vision from the beginning of the movie, where her daughter dies of cancer. Louise initially thinks it's just a dream. Despite her lingering worries, Louise becomes proficient in the alien language. Finally, the time comes to ask the most critical question: why have the aliens come to Earth? When Louise asks this, the aliens respond with another circular symbol. After decoding it, Louise interprets the message as to use weapons. This response confuses and worries Louise, making her question whether she has correctly understood the aliens' message. Louise considers that weapons might have another meaning in the aliens' language. However, the colonel interprets this as a threat, believing the aliens intend to wage war. Louise, doubting her translation, tries to convince him that she might have misunderstood the circular symbols. News of the aliens' message spreads to other countries, causing widespread fear. The cooperative efforts among the nations begin to crumble. China, suspecting an imminent attack, breaks away from the alliance and prepares to confront the aliens independently. Following China's lead, other countries also sever their alliances and gear up for war. Meanwhile, some US Army officers secretly plant a time bomb on the alien spaceship. Louise and Ian, still uncertain about their interpretation, return to the spaceship to clarify the meaning of weapons. Louise uses their communication system to ask the aliens what they want from humanity. In response, the aliens produce multiple circular symbols, making the message even harder to decode. Louise is plagued by more visions of her daughter, frustrated and confused about their significance. The aliens, sensing the danger of the time bomb, start behaving unusually. Realizing the imminent threat, they act swiftly to save Louise and Ian. Just seconds before the bomb explodes, the aliens expel them from the spaceship, saving their lives. The bomb detonates, causing a massive explosion, but Louise and Ian survive thanks to the aliens' intervention. After the blast, the alien spaceship rises higher above the ground, making it more difficult for humans to reach. Due to a misunderstanding caused by a bomb planted by the US Army, tensions rise between humans and aliens. Both sides prepare for conflict, but Ian discovers that a series of symbols actually signify the need for global cooperation to understand the aliens' language. 12 symbols point to 12 alien spaceships scattered across the world, indicating the aliens' desire for unity among nations. However, China misinterprets the situation and threatens aggression against the aliens. Meanwhile, the US colonel struggles with conflicting orders, while Laius has visions urging for unity. In a mysterious turn, Laius finds herself aboard an alien ship after witnessing a smaller vessel emerging from it. Curious, she ventures alone towards the alien ship. Laius finds herself on the alien spaceship after being transported by the smaller ships. Meanwhile, tensions escalate worldwide as preparations for the destruction of the aliens are underway. During her conversation with the aliens, Laius learns that one of them died due to the earlier bomb explosion. When she asks about the term "use weapon," the alien explains that it refers to using their language as a tool, which Laius struggles to comprehend. The alien reveals a prophecy stating that in 3,000 years, humans will need alien assistance, and Laius is crucial in preventing a war between the two species due to her ability to foresee the future. Understanding the source of her visions, Laius realizes they are linked to her efforts to learn the alien language, which operates beyond conventional time constraints. While China remains poised for attack, Laius grapples with her newfound role in shaping the fate of humanity and alien relations. In a vision set 18 months ahead, Laius finds herself at a party facing the Chinese colonel, who thanks her for a call she never made. He shares the impactful words his wife uttered before her passing, which led him to reconsider China's decision to attack the aliens. Realizing the significance of her role, Laius recites the message she heard in Chinese, persuading the colonel to reverse his stance on the war. Inspired by her vision, Laius steals a phone and delivers the message to the colonel in real time, mirroring her foresight. As China withdraws its aggression, other nations follow suit, restoring peace. The aliens, observing the global shift, adjust their position before vanishing into the skies, marking the resolution of the conflict. With happiness restored worldwide, Laius pens a book detailing the alien language for the benefit of humanity. In a subsequent vision, she reunites with her daughter and realizes that her future husband is Yan. Despite knowing the pain of losing their daughter to cancer, Laius chooses to marry Yan, accepting the future with resilience. Embracing Yan as her husband, she prepares herself for the challenges ahead. The movie concludes with this poignant moment. Thank you for watching.